You're here in the Simple Success Podcast, where you've landed well in your search for financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. We come to you on a regular basis with podcasts, webinars, and masterclasses, together aimed at freeing you from the change that the financial industry puts on all of us. Most of us don't even know what those changes are, and in this spirit, we're not going to try to solve problems people don't even know they have. No, instead, let's go up to common ground here. We can overcome, and we will do so. Join me for the ride of your life in a good way.
I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Do your own research.
Consult a professional investment advisor before making any investment decisions.
This show is for entertainment only. Faites vos propres recherches.
Here we are
In another episode
of the Simple Success Podcast.
and
This is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
what exactly is a $64,000 question? Why, that would be the name of a late 50s game show. That's correct. And what else? Any question on which you bet all the marbles, as is sometimes said. And a great example, which is on the lips of many Americans, should I pay off the house or finance it? I have a neighbor who recently migrated to America, and he keeps asking me why owning a home is such a big deal to many Americans. Well, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but those monthly payments are a big part of the American dream. Why? Private property promotes efficiency by giving the owner of resources an incentive to maximize its value. Doesn't the value have something to do with it too? It does. In fact, the more valuable a resource, the more trading power it provides the owner of the resource. I have another why, John. I hope you don't mind. No, I don't mind. In a capitalist system, someone who owns the property is entitled to any value associated with the property. That is why we are so fortunate to live in this country. True, DT, but no matter where we are, we can have big dreams, and if we work hard for them, they can come to fruition. Speaking of working hard, I have been working hard to grab a bite from this pie of owning a home, but I still have some questions. Shoot, DT, I'm all ears. The hardest question that I'm still trying to figure out is if I should pay off a house or finance it. I have listened to many people talk about this topic, but it still left many questions unanswered. That is such a broad topic, DT. Do you have all day? Not sure. I have credit cards, but that's not what you're asking. No, it's not. How about this? We have 3 acts in this podcast, and I know you're more than capable of packing good, helpful, and simple info in 3 acts. Thanks for that vote of confidence, my friend. For starters, the first thing you should consider is your financial muscle. That's the horse that should always be before the cart, right? Right. And money can come in the form of liquid cash, which you have in one lump sum, or through wages or other monies earned through businesses. But money is not the only core determining factor. What else is? Affordability. We all desire to live in the best location that money can buy, but that can only happen if you put your wallet where your mouth is. In other words, you are saying I should cut my coat according to my cloth, right? Yeah, if that's one of your financial goals. But what does that saying mean? It means you only buy things that you have sufficient money to pay for. But it is also said to emphasize that someone should do as well as possible with the limited money they have. Okay, I get it. You're right about that, my friend. This issue of cutting your coat according to your cloth comes in handy, especially if you're seeking financing. Why? Because you don't want to fall into crippling debt while paying your mortgage. The mortgage lender won't be happy, and this is a payment you will make for many years. You have to take so many things into account. That's one of the things I fear, falling into mortgage debt. And that's why we're doing this, to help you and our other esteemed listeners know how to make better life and financial choices. Extra cash. Extra cash? Cool. Now, what else should I know before I make the decision on whether to pay off or finance a house? Your credit score or credit rating, or in another word, credit worthiness. Thousands of dollars may be at stake here. That's a big one, John. You've just touched on the pulse of every American. Tell me about it, DT. And if, like you have said, I have touched the pulse of every American, well, then this point needs no belaboring. Those are such great points, John. Thanks for breaking it down. You're welcome, my friend. Should I keep going? Kindly allow me to hit the pause button because we're now heading into
break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us. Please head over to the support link in our written show notes. That's the words on your podcast player. There, you can choose from a $9.99 per month doing level of support, a $4.99 knowing level, or a basic intro level of just 99 cents per month. Great place to start, whichever you choose. Thank you so much for helping us do this for you. And to leave us a voice message, which just might see the light of day in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes. You'll go to a site where you can leave a video, audio, or text-only message depending on how you feel at the moment. You can also send us an audio file attached to an email if you use just more than your phone for stuff. I won't repeat those links because weird. And anyway, show notes. It's all in there and it's all easy. What's the first thing to remember about any decision? Any decision? Like our mortgage payoff question. Or any other kind of decision. Yes, is what's your goal? Right. So we'll get into the mortgage thing, but we have to understand first what the end game is all about. Right. So what are some advantages of paying off my house? Once you have that financial burden taken care of, you can just chill. And if you've retired, enjoy your sunset years. That sounds like something to look forward to. I can just visualize it. Yes, DT. Visualization can be a great tool to help you make financial decisions, among other things. You know, I visualized this podcast, then worked to make it come to pass. What's another advantage? You can now fully concentrate on investing without having to worry about some of your money going to your mortgage payment. Yes, and sometimes it's a big chunk of money that you must pay, or else there will be far-reaching financial repercussions. That's the thing with having a mortgage. Once you've signed on the dotted lines, you must keep your end of the bargain. I'll opt to pay my house in cash. As the young folks say, I am a cream guy. What's that, DT? Are we having coffee with cream or what? No, cream, CREAM, stands for Cash Rules Everything Around Me. Oh, I didn't know that. You learn something new every week in this podcast. I'm trying to think about this as logically as I can. As, would it be an unsound idea to pay off the house with all the cash I have? It depends on where you got the cash and what you are doing with it. I see that. It's all about putting my money to the best use possible, isn't it? Paying cash for a home is not everyone's cup of coffee. Like all financial decisions, you should take into account all potential downsides. I thought paying with cash has no downsides. I mean, what could go wrong? Every coin has two sides, my friend. Don't rush into making a decision without weighing all the pros and cons. I get it. No rushing. What are the downsides? The first downside is you will end up tying too much of your investment or all of your capital up in one asset. But most people see owning a home as the safest investment, which can stand mighty waves. It is a safe investment, but like we all know with all investments, things change. The only constant thing in life is change, right? You're right. Winds blow, and sometimes even the safest of bets become susceptible to economic changes. What can you advise me about property taxes and buying my house in cash? If you pay your house in cash, the responsibility of paying your property taxes falls directly on you. What about tax write-offs? Paying cash for a house means you don't get the write-offs that go with a mortgage plan. But you may refinance your home after you complete the purchase to take advantage of any potential tax benefits.
What are the other downsides?
Your leverage will be affected. Leverage is the use of borrowed capital or debt to increase the potential return of an investment.
But leverage works both ways, whether I pay cash or through a mortgage.
That's right. In real estate, the most common way to leverage your investment is with your own money or through a mortgage.
What else should I know about leverage?
Leverage works to your advantage when real estate values rise, but it can also lead to losses if values decline.
Like saying that's the nature of investments. There are risks all around us.
That's the spirit, DT.
How would you advise me if I told you I don't want to have my house financed because I'm afraid of foreclosure?
I would tell you that all of life is a risk. There's
Risk in getting out of bed, I know.
It's a fact. You have to overcome your fears to get ahead in life.
I am overcoming them. It's a process, though, but I am willing to see it through whatever it takes.
I am glad you've recognized what's holding you back and you're working on it.
Hey, John, this is good stuff. Keep going. I want to know more.
It's great to see you so pumped up, DT. I have much more to talk about,
But first, break number 2.
we know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es buenísimo. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too.
Can I simple that?
Por supuesto. Of course. Just simple it.
Please make sure your seat belts are fastened and your tray tables are in their upright position.
And make sure simple is a verb like Google is a verb.
This is the part in the podcast where we tie the topic to investing. What are some of the things we should remember?
If you decide to finance your house, you will be in a better position to invest the cash you would have used to pay off the house.
How can I invest the cash?
Well, there are different ways to invest, but you can invest in the stock market. Of course, seek sound financial advice before you make such a move.
Why?
A financial expert will be able to guide you to, for instance, invest your cash in a tax-advantaged account, if that makes sense for you.
Interesting, I think, but exactly what is a tax-advantaged account?
You're not trying to get free investment advice here, are you? No, I didn't think so. The term tax-advantaged refers to any type of investment, financial account, or savings plan that is either exempt from taxation or is tax-deferred or offers other types of tax benefits.
How does financing my house impact my net worth?
Financing your house will leave you a higher net worth than paying off your mortgage faster.
That's music to my ears. I've been trying to build my net worth for years. Let's decide I say to pay off my house. How will this decision affect my investing portfolio?
For some people, the period of time involved in paying off a house is an investment in itself. They will put all their eggs in this one basket and have a good night's sleep.
Sounds like a good idea. But is it? Is that even a good idea?
It can be in the long run, unless something catastrophic happens, or if you did not do your due diligence while paying off the house. This asset often gains more profit in the long run.
So, this is not a case of making quick money. I have to be patient with such an investment.
Patience pays. And patience is one of the things that separates savvy entrepreneurs from amateurs. Savvy types have been in the game long enough to know how to bide their time.
I feel like you're talking to me. I'm so impatient, I will paint my house and tell the paint to hurry up so I can do another coat.
That's funny. I can just picture you hollering at your wall.
What's the good thing? That can happen if I decide to finance my house.
Because a financial institution is taking care of this matter and you only pay manageable monthly amounts, you can use your savings or any bonus cash you have to invest.
Can my financing arrangement affect the choice of my investment?
Most definitely, DT. You know, the more money you have at hand, the more choices you have to invest. If you are sinking all your money into financing your house, your chances of investing are low.
How can I address this challenge?
Have multiple sources of income. You can also refinance the mortgage. This means paying off your existing loan and replacing it with a new one. That's probably what a financial advisor would say.
But won't that mean that I will be in more debt and will not have the ability to invest?
You're right. This can worsen your debt. But you have to look at the bigger picture, and after you have weighed all your options, make a sound financial decision and have a paid-off home that leads to extra money.
But, did you just say extra money? Show me a person who doesn't want extra money and
I will show you someone who's lying through their teeth.
That's not what I was going to say, but it still drives the point home. What I have got from today's podcast is that whether I choose to pay off or finance a house, there are still investment lessons and options.
Yeah, DT, and both options have pros and cons. Whatever you decide to do, just be aware of what you're signing up for.
Okay, I got that. I was starting to develop cold feet.
Wait. We are here to simplify these investing concepts that seem to be hard so that we give a simple solution that doesn't seem to be hard. It's one pot at a time. Catch us in the next podcast where we will talk about saving pro tips for entrepreneurs.
That perfectly ties up with what we're talking about. I can't wait.
Same here. I can't wait to share these nuggets.
Oh, we don't just dish financial nuggets.
What else do we do?
With this podcast, it's also a cheat code for life.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
Salut. À la prochaine.
This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes
Techno King, John C. Brandy, Alter Ego, Doubting Thomas, Fact Checker, a small brown beef animal, very very small, seriously, tiny, facts really are not that big, French consultant, OpenAI, social manager, Virginia Mitchell, media expert, Favor Abassi Ike, psychologist, William James, rabbit hole advisor, Dr. Mark Perrott, sound designer, Adobe's Creative Suite, Spanish consultant, Cameron J.K. Brandy, videographer, Eto Monkoshki, audio props, Les Paul, inspiration, many podcasts and other sources, and of course Napoleon Hill.
We also have websites, and you can subscribe to both podcasts. You can even send us a video, audio, or text message. But of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to get the links and stuff. I really doubt that you would pay me to read the URLs where you can subscribe, support, or leave one of those video or audio messages. And anyway, all the clickable links are in the show notes.
And before we forget, the artificial intelligence or AI voices you hear in our work come from Google, Amazon Polly, and OpenAI, like we say in the show notes. We just love what AI can do when lovingly crafted.
Finally, you can find us on Podmatch.com, Matchmaker.fm, Podbooker and Podcast Guests, where we consider guests and consider guesting on other people's shows.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Bensound and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams, as well as from AI MuseNet. The sound effect credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canusi G, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sand Emotions, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes, that's his or her name. All on freesound.org. Also, languages are the bomb.
Paul.